November 19th, 2021. Halfcast 189, episode 189. Happy Friday, you guys. Yes. Hope everyone's week went well. Of course, I have a few things to share with you. An evening of reflection. Let's do it.
State of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. That's the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum.
This is Fox 13, Tampa Bay.
H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Alligator tears.
As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Rosekreutz, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Members of the jury, these
are you kidding me?
Verdicts?
Are you fucking kidding me? The first thing I asked is at least on the gun charge. Why didn't he get charged with at least the gun, having a gun as a minor? And here's what I came up with. This is ABC News. Why did judge drop Rittenhouse gun charge? On the surface, it looked like prosecutors would convict Kyle Rittenhouse on at least one charge in his murder charge. I thought the same thing, being a minor. The current wording of the overarching law seems clear. Any person under 18 years of age who possesses or goes armed with a dangerous weapon is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor. A lead in paragraph defines dangerous weapon as several things, including any firearm loaded or unloaded. The subsection that defense attorneys relied upon to seek dismissal reads, this section applies only to a person under 18 years of age who possesses or is armed with a rifle or shotgun if the person is in violation of section 941.28. That section of the law isn't specific to minors, but rather forbids any person from having a short-barreled shotgun or rifle. So because it wasn't modified, the barrel wasn't modified or sawed off, as some would call it, that part of the law didn't apply to him. And they found a loophole in it, and they ripped it. That would have gave him at least, I think they said the misdemeanor would have gave him 9 months in jail, but at least it would have been something as opposed to him just walking away scot-free. The impetus for the carve-out isn't clear. Jerry Bonavia, executive director of the Wisconsin Anti-Violence Effort, a group that works to reduce gun violence, said the National Rifle Association was making a national push to get guns in children's hands in the late 1990s and early 2000s in hopes of creating lifetime gun owners. The caveat may have been part of that push, she said, but she said it appears that minors can possess long guns as long as they're not sawed off. She called that concerning. Damn right, that's concerning. So basically what the NRA was trying to make lifetime gun owners the same way these tobacco companies push cigarettes towards minors to get lifelong smokers. That is very concerning, especially when not properly trained to work with guns or be in situations where you know when to shoot and not to shoot, and you're a minor who really hasn't. When you're a minor, you don't have the maturity and you don't have the experience to know when to shoot and when not to shoot, and you put a semi-automatic rifle in a kid's hands. This is what you're asking for, and I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 put in a situation, the kid is gonna shoot, he's gonna panic, and he's gonna shoot, and these type of things are gonna happen. Rittenhouse verdict flies in the face of legal standards for self-defense in a 2-week trial that reignited debate over self-defense laws across the nation. A Wisconsin jury acquitted Kyle Rittenhouse for shooting 3 people, 2 fatally during a racial justice protest in Kenosha. The Wisconsin jury believed Rittenhouse claims that he feared for his life and acted in self-defense after he drove about 20 miles from his home in Antioch, Illinois, picking up an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle in Kenosha, in what he claimed was an effort to protect property during violent protests. The lakeside city of it's hard to be non-biased in this situation. It is. I'm just trying to deliver this in a way that's just informative, and it's just so hard for me to be non-biased. In delivering its verdict, a Wisconsin jury decided that Rittenhouse's conduct was justified, even though the prosecution argued that he provoked the violent encounter and therefore should not be able to find refuge in the self-defense doctrine. The law of self-defense holds that a person who is not the aggressor is justified in using deadly force against an adversary when he reasonably believes that he is in imminent danger of death or seriously bodily injury. This is the standard that every state uses to define self-defense. To determine whether this standard is met, the law looks at 5 central concepts. The use of force must be proportionate to the force employed by the aggressor. If the aggressor lightly punches the victim in the arm, for example, the victim cannot use deadly force in response. It's not proportional. Second, the use of self-defense is limited to imminent harm. The threat by the aggressor must be immediate. For instance, a person who was assaulted cannot leave the scene, plan revenge later, and conduct vigilante justice by killing the initial aggressor. That would mean it would be premeditated. Third, the person's assessment of whether he is in imminent danger of death or serious bodily injury must be reasonable, meaning that a supposed reasonable person would consider the threat to be sufficiently dangerous to put him in fear of death or seriously bodily injury. A person's own subjective view of this fear is not enough to satisfy the standard for self-defense. Fourth, the law does not permit a first aggressor to benefit from a self-defense justification. Only those with clean hands can benefit from this justification and avoid criminal liability. Finally, a person has a duty to retreat before using deadly force. And earlier in the article, it says that he drove 20 miles. So he broke about, like, I see at least 3 of these out of the 5 that could have easily been avoided if he just would have stayed his ass home. That's just my opinion. Next up, former Jets running back Stacy was arrested in Florida Thursday for beating his ex-girlfriend in front of the couple's infant son. Now, and I always say this, it's always easier said than done, but whatever, when you're in those cases, you know you can physically, if you physically feel like you have to like put your hands on that woman, man, just leave, man. Like, yeah, don't let your emotions, don't let your anger overrun what, like, yeah, just leave. Go somewhere, blow off some steam, do something because it's not gonna end well. It's never gonna end well. The 30-year-old was arrested by Orlando police and is being held in Orange County Jail on charges of aggravated battery and criminal mischief. The 30-year-old was arrested by Orlando police and is being held in Orange County Jail on charges of aggravated battery and criminal mischief. And if you've seen the video, I thought that he would be up for something way worse than that because the way he threw that girl, I thought he really did some serious damage. I really thought like it would be like attempted murder or something like that. The alleged attack took place last Saturday afternoon in Oakland, about 19 miles west of Orlando, according to the warrant. Stacy fled after the attack and had been on the run from authorities. The video was posted by TMZ Sports on Wednesday night. Yeah, he left. They said he was gone before the cops even had even got there. Uh, Cops said Stacy flew from Nashville to Orlando on Thursday. This is not funny, but when you're that angry and you finally get that primal release that your brain is calling for, I think it's like chemical. Once that part of your brain is satisfied and you finally come back down and you smooth yourself out, you immediately realize that you messed up. You really do. You immediately realize that you messed up. So he immediately left after that. He wasn't going to stick around. The woman told authorities she had been extending an olive branch to Stacy when he allegedly got physical with her, striking her and throwing her against the television, causing it to crack and fall over. Stacy allegedly hit his child's mother as she tried to get up and then picked her up again and threw her onto the baby's bouncy chair before leaving the scene, according to the warrant. The woman filed for a restraining order against Stacy on Monday after he was already on the run. Police had been to the home several times this year, including for a possible domestic violence case in September. The warrant said, "You just leave, man." Like, Biden gets first physical as president, power transferred to VP Harris, and that is fucking horrifying. It was a question that plagued Joe Biden's presidential campaign. Could a 77-year-old man, who at age 78 would be the oldest person ever to assume the presidency, handle the rigors of the job? Candidate Biden acknowledged it was legitimate for Americans to question his fitness for office, 25th Amendment. And the whole thing, I was just laughing because I was like, if you give Kamala Harris the power of the presidency for just an hour or two, when you wake back up, it's going to look like Planet of the Apes, and the Statue of Liberty is going to be, because she's going to put together a few executive orders right before you wake up just to make sure, or she might just dose you twice so you sleep a little bit longer, you wake up a little bit drowsy, you don't remember what the hell you signed off on this, don't you remember? The only thing I can say is watch, check my energy level, determine whether I know what I'm talking about, he told voters during the 2020 campaign. And they were saying things like, yeah, she has the nuclear code. What was pretty cool is that they said she was the first woman to hold the presidency. Even though it was brief, she was the first woman to hold the presidency. Now on Friday, nearly a year into his term, Biden has gotten his first physical as president at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. It came the day before he turned 79. After about 5 hours inside, Biden walked out giving 2 thumbs up. I'm doing great. Biden told ABC News correspondent Karen Travers, "I'm sorry, because I'm just thinking about Kamala Harris standing over his bedside while because I think they had to put him under for a little bit or something." Shortly before he arrived, the White House revealed that for some of the exam, he would be under anesthesia and would briefly transfer power to Vice President Kamala Harris. Do not give her the ring. One ring to rule them all. This morning, the president will travel to the Walter Reed Medical Center for a routine physical. While he is there, the president will undergo a routine colonoscopy. Press Secretary Jen Psaki said in a statement. New Jersey Starbucks worker contracts hepatitis A. Thousands possibly impacted. The Camden County Health Department says thousands of residents may be impacted after a Starbucks employee recently contracted hepatitis A. Now, here are some Hep A symptoms. Hepatitis A, formerly called infectious hepatitis, causes your liver to become inflamed. Symptoms may include fever and joint pain. You're coming to work with that, right? Yeah, you can and probably should get a vaccine to prevent this condition. The virus can spread by sexual contact or the fecal oral route. What is fecal oral, you say? Here's what fecal oral means. Mind you, these are people that's handling your coffee, right? Fecal oral transmission occurs when bacteria or viruses found in the stool of one child or animal are swallowed by another child. This is adults. Commonly, you scale it up, obviously. This is especially common in group daycare settings where fecal organisms are commonly found on surfaces and on the hands of providers. Usually, the contamination is invisible. So these is the people that's screaming, "Hey, Avery, I got your coffee," screaming over you when you're in Starbucks, screaming, "I got your coffee, Avery." Is Avery screaming it to you and got it all around the rim of your coffee cup? Get yourself checked out. Got fecal matter all around your frappuccino Hold the Hep A, please. Officials say the employee handled food at the Starbucks located at 1490 Blackwood, Clementon Road in Gloucester Township. The health department recommends any number of the public who patronize the Starbucks facilities on November 4th, 5th, 6th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, doing doubles too, all day, breathing on your coffee. The county health department has been working closely with the patient and the staff at the Starbucks to address the situation. First off, how do you not know you have hepatitis A? Like, yeah, you should feel bad. If you're feeling that way, you should get yourself checked out. That's not a cold if my joints are swollen and all this yellow around the eyes and I just feel horrible. The county health department has been working closely with the patient and the staff at the Starbucks to address the situation. Camden County Health Officer Pashal Nwako said our highest priority is ensuring everyone involved remains safe and healthy. Yeah, now I got to stay after hours and wipe everything down with Clorox and Lysol because you're zombie infected ass. The patient who is not currently working and close contacts have been a net. Yeah, now I gotta quarantine myself because I was working next to you. We encourage anyone who may believe they were exposed to get vaccinated against hepatitis A by calling the county health department or your primary care physician. Next up, beauty consultant arrested for botched butt injection that killed woman. First off, first off, Avery loves you just the way you are. But if for any reason you feel like you have to make an enhancement, if you feel like you want to change something, please, please go to a real doctor. Don't go to a doctor. Yeah, don't go to a doctor that's going to give it to you for the cheap or give it to you. They don't have to go through insurance or something shady. Yeah, do your research and because you don't want this to happen. Like somebody ends up giving you hot dog water. Yeah, somebody ends up injecting you in the butt with a bunch of old bacon grease, and now you're all fucked up in the game. Officials say a Houston woman has been charged with murder for performing an unlicensed silicone buttock injection. Lisa Fernandez, 47, was arrested Tuesday in connection with the death of 38-year-old Marja McClandon of St. Louis, Missouri, who died a few days after being assigned to her apartment in 2018 with Fernandez. According to court documents obtained by KSDK, the self-proclaimed beauty consultant has been working outside her home since 2004. Fernandez took the silicone illegally and inserted it incorrectly with a syringe. You don't trust these people, man. If they know you're going to pay a few $1,000s, they will inject anything in there. McClendon Twinkie, Twinkie cream. Yeah. McClendon felt pain and discomfort after the first injection on April 24th, 2018. But after Fernandez refused to return the money, she returned the next day to receive a second round injection. First off, if you feel like you wanted your money back, before you asked for the money back, you should have went to the hospital immediately. If you felt that that's something deep down telling you that there's something wrong, that's your body telling you that he did something very wrong and you should first go to the hospital before you try to get your money back. Officials said the second procedure had to be stopped several times because of McClendon's severe pain. Before being admitted to the local emergency department, McClendon lost breath and began coughing up blood. Returned to St. Louis until doctors could perform a medical examination and was soon readmitted to a hospital in Missouri and died there on April 30th, 2018. We are concerned because there is now a tendency to inject into the buttocks. Yeah, it's like it's the new craze. It's like the new thing to do. There may be other victims as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't his first customer. We urge anyone who has had a buttock injection to come forward, said Nancy Taw, assistant prosecutor for Harris County, according to KSDK. Fun show, fun show, fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.